Well, Michael, it's great to be here as part of RPSEA's in general, but specifically 10 years Best of RPSEA. Art Schroeder with Safe Marine Transfer. We were selected in their RFP process and awarded a project. Started in 2013 and negotiated for about a year. And actually started work June of 2014 and are finishing up our RPSEA project this summer. The objective of the project was to develop a large subsea chemical storage and injection system. What this technology will do is enable the development of small reservoirs that independently might not be affordable, economic to produce. But with our chemical injection system, it lowers the overall operating cost and the capital cost. RPSEA program has been extremely important to our project, not just the money, as they say, but also the guidance and advice coming from just a large number of subject matter experts across the board. Baker Hughes, one of our cost share partners, has been very engaged with us on the project. We've had subject matter experts from BG Group, from Total, from Shell, from BP. A large number of operators have been very interested in our technology and have been helpful in guiding us along the way. The team we've utilized to develop this technology is, I just can't say enough about them. Stress engineering was helpful initially in helping us basically frame the injection portion of the project. Canyon Helix is our marine contractor, all the marine operations. Ocean Works International helped us develop the injection kit. We have two different bladder manufacturers. One is Avon. They've teamed up with Trelleborg in providing an elastomeric type bladder. Seaman Corp, working with air, has a plastic bladder, so we can store large volumes up to 3,000 barrels safely, effectively on the seafloor and inject that production chemistry, Baker Hughes product in this case is what we qualified, directly into the point of use.
Fascinating project.
It is. Of course, we have, like I said, had a lot of the team working with the subject matter experts, both friends from decades actually in the industry. Earlier in career, I consulted with Deep Star for about a decade or so, and a lot of friends out of that organization came forth with not only advice, but also with cost share. Deep Star actually helped pinpoint the pain, the need, as far as industry was concerned. So starting with that information, starting with a problem, as opposed to starting with a solution and chasing a problem, has been very helpful.
So how did you get introduced to RPSEA or involved?
Well, a friend of mine, Bill Richardson, was Secretary of Energy back under the Clinton administration, and one of his good friends, Emil Pena, was the DAS Deputy Assistant Secretary, and he asked me to help him form an offshore technology roadmap. And we collaborated with literally hundreds of industry specialists. I chaired one of the groups. And out of that roadmap, in the roadmap process, we looked at best practices from around the globe, from Demo 2000 in Norway to ITF in the UK to with Petrobras, they had a program, ProCap 2000 and ProCap 3000. And what we saw was where industry and government worked together, the successes came quicker and they were more sustainable. So the idea was, out of this roadmap, is maybe develop something similar for the U.S. There was an administration change, of course, but as we affectionately refer to some of the DOE guys, there's the political appointees and there's also the B team. And by B team, I mean that in a very good sense of the word, because they be there before the political appointees and they be there after they leave. And Guido Diaratius, Elena Melkert, and others up there just really caught on to, hey, this is a great idea. And then it was a matter of getting the legislation in place. And I was privileged to speak with a number of the congressmen and their staffs and helping paint the vision of what the U.S. could do in this area to turn resources into reserves, into production, and into jobs and tax-paying dollars. And it took several years. GTI came to the table, and finally in '05, the Energy Policy Act, there was a section in there, 999, that basically was enabling legislation to fund the development of the program. RPSEA was sort of an amalgamation of best practices from a number of industry groups and organizations that were already in place. GTI at the lead, Deep Star under Chevron's guidance, sort of working with them to bring that to fruition as far as a proposal. It was a competitive bid process that DOE went through, and RPSEA was selected and was involved in negotiating the contract and actually seeing it come to life. And then here on the back end, actually seeing some of the great projects that have come out of this. It's really exciting to see that happen.
Well, what are some of the benefits that, or what are the top benefits in your mind of RPSEA?
Collaboration. You hear that word a lot, particularly during the downturn, and particularly from oil companies, that we need to collaborate. Well, what does that mean? And what it means is there's some areas where there's still very competitive forces at play. But one of the areas where collaboration really does transcend the competitive forces is in the area of safety and environmental protection. And I think post-Macondo, the refocus on looking at human factors, engineering, and really putting at the ground level, the base, we're going to do this safe, we're going to do it within the responsible environmental protection. And I can sort of bring that home to our project, actually, with Safe Marine Transfer. The same chemistries are used today. They're actually fairly hazardous chemicals. The xylenes and the toluenes are required for safe production. You need to maintain the integrity of the wellbore, and to do that, corrosion inhibitor is mandatory. So the question is with these hazardous chemicals, how do you manage them to protect people and the environment? And right now, the incumbent technology is the chemicals are transferred out on supply boats. They're raised up to the platform deck with platform cranes or hoses and pumps. Very people-intensive operation requiring a lot of personal protective equipment and the like, as well as a tremendous amount of additional weight on the platform, space on the platform. And the guys and gals up there are living right next to these chemicals. The chemicals can be safely handled, so that's not really the issue, but the question is could we do a better job? With our technology, the chemicals are encapsulated within a dual barrier container at the dock on shore, where it can be done under a light of day and under expert supervision. The chemicals never touch human hands, human hands never touch. They are taken directly through our shuttle system to the point of use offshore. The shuttle is ballasted down to the seafloor in a very, very short period of time. We're talking a matter of hours to within a day. Proper placement of the entire kit on the seafloor using commonly available anchor handling vessels. Normally a load of this magnitude, 1,600, 2,000 tons, would require a heavy lift vessel. Very large day rate, issues with mob and demob, time and expense in doing that, and we're able to do it in a fraction of the time, fraction of the cost. And what's better is the chemical is stored right next to the point of use, as opposed to on the platform where men and women are working. So there is where we've taken the goal of the safety and environmental, wrapped it around with a dual barrier, and put it safely next to the point of use. Just pleased also, we were able to We were awarded 2 U.S. patents on our technology we developed there and have a number of other patents in various stages of prosecution. So we're very excited about bringing this new technology to the market. It's developed here for the Gulf of Mexico, good for 10,000 foot of water depth, and the chemical storage is on the order of magnitude of 3 to 6 months, depending on the size of the field, the production characteristics.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Michael. We're, again, just delighted to be part of RPSEA and hope to be part of RPSEA 2.0, whatever that might look like going forward.
Absolutely. So 2 more questions and then we're done. So this question is about, what if, worst case, RPSEA went away? Who would be affected the most? And what would we lose?
I think the most affected party is the U.S. taxpayer. We're right on the cusp, Michael, of having energy security here in the U.S. And what better time in this low product price environment to make the additional investment to be able to secure our energy future. It's about jobs, it's about income from the royalty. Just a fraction of the royalty stream that comes off of these projects goes to pay for this program. Then on top of that, industry cost share put on top of that. We've got 10 years of RPSEA, upwards of 200 or 300 different organizations have been involved. The infrastructure's in place, the program's a proven performer, and I'd like to hope the next administration will see the value in that and invest in our kids' future. I just had a 4th grandchild, a little baby girl, born 3 weeks ago, and there'd be nothing that would please me more than seeing America's energy future secured for her safety.
Very well said. That was kind of a nice segue into the last question, which is, for the folks watching this video, whoever might see it, in hopes that we can have RPSEA 2.0, is there any one thing, maybe a summary statement that you would want to tell them?
It's up to you. You know, there's a lot of this, well, that's someone else's job, or I've never been involved in politics, or I don't really even know who my congressman is. Hopefully that's not the case. But I think in 2000 I had just finished going back to school, got an MBA, and was ready to really tackle the world's big problems. And there was a guy at Rice University, Rick Smalley, who, fabulous guy, Nobel laureate, and he basically, in a small environment at first, had folks line up what are the world's top problems we need to solve. And a bunch of problems surface. And after some discussion, if you ordered those problems in the way in which you solved the first problem, energy, then the next problem, which is potable water, becomes an easy solution, because with reliable, cost-effective energy, you can change salt water to fresh water. With energy, you can get fertilizer. There's no shortage of land, but with water and fertilizer, you can get food. With food, you can start to address health issues, and it just trickles down from there. So I would say, personally getting involved in solving some of these problems with energy has got to be near the top.